And Woody likes the crooked cock.
Yeah. Sorry, Woody, what were you saying?
Trump got removed from, I think it's Spreadshirt. It was one of those companies that like all the YouTubers work with, and I think it was Spreadshirt.
Is that the one anymore? Spreadshirt, or is there Tucker? You would know
another
this.
one that's close.
People use a bunch like Teespring, Spreadshirt. Nobody uses Spreadshirt anymore. A lot of people use Teespring, which is like the same but somehow less shitty. And then other people use like Fanjoy and like better ones. Spreadshirt and Teespring are like, I got a PNG, I need a blue Gideon blank, and then you put it on and sell it for $3, right? Versus like I made this shirt not in a sweat factory and it's made with cotton, you know?
Well, that's what we would want. What'd you say, Joy something?
Fanjoy? Fanjoy, yeah, Fanjoy is who I have used and I like them a lot. They're the downside is that you guys should be fine. They don't like you can't just be like, I want to make shirts today, I'm going to do it on Fanjoy. You got to like talk with them and figure out what you want to make and how you want to roll it out. Oh, that's, it's business.
Trump shirts are still on Spreadshirt, but they got one of those like merch companies stopped selling Trump stuff after yesterday.
Wow. So basically after, the money is run out, that's like 4 years of it. And then you're like, oh, he's got 16 days. I guess we'll just take it out the store.
Yeah, I would have disagreed with you about the 16 days thing prior to yesterday, right? I thought the Trump train would just keep on going, that he'd be a really active
It'll keep on going on.
I think the Trump train, is it derailed? I think
False.
It could be.
No.
Okay,
False.
go on. What are you thinking?
No. Yesterday proved that it's going to keep on going. You think the people that were doing that are like the only people that like felt that way? Like there's tens and tens of millions of people who are like, I wish I was there sitting at Nancy Pelosi's desk. First of all, I woke up late. Like I've been playing a lot of Rust, so like my sleep schedule's fucked. Because I play with a guy from Finland and a guy from Australia, so I got to be on their fucking wavelength. So I didn't wake up until like 5 p.m. And I wake up in my phone.
You missed all the good stuff.
I look at my phone and it's just every person I know has messaged me. Are you seeing this? DC is nuts. Just one message after another of crazy shit. And I'm like, all right, fucking wake up, like CNN, let's go. And I see it. And it was, look,
wild.
Am I wrong in saying that someone told me today that multiple people died? I'm unaware of that.
People died.
Okay. The only person that I was aware of that died at that time was that goofball woman who tried to climb through a window, and DC police or Secret Service, Capitol Police, whatever, shot her in the throat.
Good shooting, bad shooting.
It's a bad shooting, but who else died?
There's a police officer who died, and then two others that were complications.
Were
but
there
they
other
didn't release.
shootings?
I don't know.
They didn't.
Were they like heart attacks or something?
That's what it's sounding like.
One police officer supposedly tased themselves and then died of a heart attack.
That we're not counting that. That's not on Trump.
Right. But
no,
there's no way. All right, I just stop the presses for one moment. Do any of us blame Donald Trump and his what he probably
would that have happened if there was no riot?
Dude, that is such an embarrassing way to die.
Yes, if he's stupid enough today to tase himself to death, he was going to be stupid. It was a matter of time.
I'll accept
Dude, that is Officer Homer Simpson.
Yeah,
that guy, God, what an embarrassing.
Why did you go with Chief Wiggums in that thing? But okay.
Chief Wiggums only shot others.
I only shot others, or whatever. However he sounds. I don't know.
They haven't announced any of the like causes of death of the other three, as far as I know. But one tweet that I saw said an officer who had a heart attack passed away, and then yesterday I heard a rumor that one officer tased himself. So just take everything with a grain of salt. We only know of the woman who got shot in the throat.
All right,
my mind is 100% made up. I haven't watched it, but I saw the funniest take about it from some just random person where they're like, when it was just made me laugh so hard. They're like, it was after they'd already got into the building, and they're like, this is like when you finish a level on a video game and it won't go to the cut scene. And so they're like, we took over is there like a puzzle box or something we need to find her? Is there one loading? And I was just like,
they were just roaming around. Yeah.
It's like a dog who caught the mail truck where they're like, I got it. And it's like, all right, now what?
I kind of disagree with you there because all right, so they went into Pelosi's office. They went through her emails. A guy from The Blaze has her emails, has been posting them. They stole the hard drives out of a bunch of people's PCs. Like lots of PCs had the hard drives pulled. That guy who's running
sure
with the
about that? I haven't heard 100%. Any of this.
Yeah,
okay,
it's still hard drives.
Okay.
One of the guy who has the podium and is running with it.
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
That is the funniest picture I've ever seen.
That was marching out. That was on photo.
Smiling.
I saw that on Photoshop battles, and someone photoshopped it to have Mitch McConnell still on it as he's running with it, and it's just I laughed for half an hour.
Just that guy's unbridled joy as he's like, like I got the podium.
The guy who has the like buffalo headdress on with the horns and the painted face.
Yeah, I saw that.
Up on like I don't know what you call it, the dais or whatever, like where the Speaker of the House stands to fucking address all of Congress or whatever. Him up there flexing is fucking hilarious. Now look, I don't want to. I'm conflicted on how I feel about what happened yesterday because on one hand, it's horrible that people died. On the other,
yeah.
I hate those people anyway. So when everybody's like, "Oh, the sanctity of our Capitol," it's like, yeah, the place where those greasy politicians get bribed to do the bidding of our overlords. Yeah, they're not. Those people aren't our representatives by any stretch of the imagination. No. Like those are not the good guys. And like it's hard for me to paint them in my mind as the good guys, so that I can thereby paint those people who storm in there as the bad guys. I don't like seeing them carrying a fucking Confederate flag into the United States Capitol, though. That's fucking nonsense. Yeah. You're starting to, are we the baddies? Kind of thing is going on when I see that. I also don't like that people died as a result of it. That's terrible too. However, when I look at it from what maybe we have some information that we don't have here, but it sounds like some fat cops died of heart attacks. One literally shot himself with a taser and killed himself. Tasers aren't lethal, though. We can just deploy them anytime. And then the other is, I saw a photo of that woman, and I know her family are watchers, and they're in they're patrons and all.
Patrons, right.
Yeah, she looked retarded, and I don't mean that and like, that's retarded, right? I mean, she looked mentally handicapped. So maybe don't shoot her in the throat when she tries to like climb through a glass window.
I didn't think she looked retarded.
Let me try to. I saw a Twitter post and it was like, "This is the mastermind who was leading the charge to overthrow the Capitol Boys," and she's just like, "Ooh," she looks demented.
Maybe I'm not thinking of the same one, but I saw her business partner posted her last conversation with her on Twitter, and it was like, "Be safe, please. I can't stand to lose you." And then it's her with a photo of her on a plane with her mask on, being like, "Train's full of Trump supporters. It's going to be great. I'll watch my 6." And then, but she didn't look like she had a mental disability to
10
me.
o'clock.
You must have seen a really unflattering photo. I looked at a bunch. This one's representative of what I think she looks like.
Yeah, that's the one that I saw.
Lady.
I'm going to keep digging.
Okay.
Because I saw it in our Patreon chat.
Woody, that photo you provided, that makes her look like a normal woman. I got to keep digging. There's one of her in a spinny hat.
Is this the one you thought she looked retarded?
Let me come back over to your chat and see what you got. Oh no, my friend, it's a picture of her in the Capitol on the day. Okay. I think this might be a Terry Schiavo moment where you've got pre-stroke Terry Schiavo and I've got post-stroke Terry Schiavo, and we're putting her on a fuckable list.
Okay, I don't think she was retarded. She was not. She was clearly not a retarded person.
This is her on the day. Anyway, I've seen enough photos here that I just don't think she's that bad.
Yeah, I think you're on the.
You must have seen her worst photo shot.
I may have misunderstood what this photo was representing because I'm opening it for the first time. I'm linking it to you right now. I don't know who this is supposed to be. I'm sorry. I've got a lot of Discords open right now. I gotta come back over to us. But I saw this post earlier, and I don't know who that actually is. I thought that was.
I've seen this photo too.
Old grandma.
Dude, it's just an old lady.
But why is it look at the heading and it has 40,000 retweets? I thought this was the lady who died.
Yeah, it's just a nice old lady. Post. It's a shit post.
Are you telling me this tactical genius overpowered the officers protecting the Capitol? I can see why maybe you inferred that she was the lady who got shot.
Yes.
Yeah, but it wasn't the same person.
Dude, it's a Rain Man type deal. She's like a strategic genius.
But you got to agree with me. You don't shoot that lady. That lady looks
and she didn't
batty.
I don't think she got help.
She did shoot her.
It's Secret Service.
Shouldn't have charged.
I'm guessing they don't carry tasers, but tasing would have been really good in that.
Did you see the video of the one single cop with a baton running up flights of stairs? Yeah, turning around and be like, "Stop on these stairs, I swear!" And then like 30 people turn the corner. He's like, we'll give him another.
I'll tell you what I did see.
Never mind.
I saw that. What do you do? How do you do better?
I don't know. What he could.
Like 1v30. He's like, this is the line. Okay, wait.
What?
This is the line.
As long as I keep saying what the line is, I technically haven't lost.
I'm gonna try to find the DC police officer who's in the crowded hallway, and he reminds me of Kevin.
Selfies?
No. He looks like Kevin Malone from The Office when Michael made him cry. He is almost tearful. Like he's one person shouting at him away from crying.
Am I the only one? So here's one of the things I don't like about what happened. I felt like our Capitol building was secure. I thought it was protected. I thought it would be hard to overrun. It is surprising to me that a bunch of retards can just walk in and the police will pull the barriers back and let them take over Congress. They stopped the presidential, the delayed, I should say, the presidential electoral counting. They delayed it by 4 hours, 6 hours, something like that.
More. It didn't happen till 3:30 in the morning.
I know. I was up watching it. It was.
Don't know what it would have happened otherwise, but I think they shut it down for 4 or 6 hours or something. But it should be harder to take over the U.S. Capitol than that. It should be really difficult. The Chinese shouldn't be able to do it, let alone a fucking bunch of redneck cosplayers.
The Chinese would never be able to slowly walk up into the Capitol building. They'd all be shot the second
if they wear MAGA hats. They can.
Yeah. I always thought there would be some. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say that this is the biggest thing that I was taking away from this all was it was funny to me until they actually just walked in. And my thought was how big of balls do you have to think that I can, with impunity, break the window of the Capitol building and climb in and then start walking around the chamber? Every alarm bell on my head is you're going to get shot. You're dead. You can't do that. Don't do that. When you are doing school trips, because I grew up in Baltimore and we go down to DC every year, you'd get yelled at for taking your phone out in the treasury, right? And somebody be like, "Hey, no phone." I was like, Jesus, all right, I'm sorry. But
I'm addicted.
Turns out those cry bullies aren't so tough when some grown men show up. They run and hide.
Somebody told me, he was they had friendly fire turned off. It was something like 83% of police officers when surveyed for the Hillary versus Trump election chose Trump, right? I feel like there's definitely a non-zero sum of people that were like, "What do you mean you're going to make me fight back against my cousin? I can't do this." And they're just
yeah. Have you seen the videos of them pulling the metal barriers back?
I thought, but
probably.
Look at the one I just posted. This is great.
I thought there would be a lot more from booby traps. I thought there would be booby traps, actual
booby traps.
Well, maybe not booby traps, but something.
Temple of Doom.
I thought that there might be well, first of all, the clip I saw that Woody referenced. I was like, damn, how did they storm in? And then I watched the clip and it was
dude,
an officer just moved the barrier and it was just and then people just were walking as though they were looking at new stores in a shopping area. They got to build a bear. Oh, fun.
Yeah,
no, I'm not rushing to get to the Capitol. I'll just take a leisurely stroll.
Tucker, do you want to say something?
I was going to say the one where they're opening the gates. I don't think we see where they go after the gates are opened, which led me to think that maybe they were opening the gates because they were going into a courtyard that would be easier to control than the choke point. But the TikTok video of the main steps where a couple people get through and then everybody just fucking goes. That's the one that's shocking to me because the police just kind of give up. The barrier gets moved and fuck it, you guys have the Capitol now. It was
So I have all this unconfirmed information. They wanted to call the National Guard in and Trump said no. And then eventually Pence said yes. Have you heard that?
Pence can't say yes to that. So it was the Secretary of Defense is the only one that can mobilize the National Guard outside of Trump. And he can only do that when Trump is not reachable. So some idiots were on Twitter being the 25th got invoked. No, it didn't. Trump didn't exercise the guards. The Secretary of Defense was all right, we need to do it. So we're going to do it. Fuck, we're not going to ask for permission for Trump or anyone.
So I got a couple things I want to look at here. So the Reddit link is the officer quaking in fear as the crowd rushes in.
I saw that one. That one was funny.
Volume warning. If you're going to use any volume, put it on like 1%.
Ooh, that is loud.
But this is great. I'm at 0 if you want to watch this.
I'm just playing it for people.
Okay. Yeah, the guy is just, I'm playing it too. He is terrified.
What can he do, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he can't do anything.
They shouldn't have been allowed inside. I'm with Tucker. Like,
yeah,
the thought that they got inside, like, it's an embarrassment to me. Shouldn't have been able to walk in. I just feel like, so I'm gonna go too far here. Perhaps were there traitorous police officers?
Yes,
that just let them in the Capitol building because you know what? Fuck it. Let's have a president who didn't get more votes or didn't.
I saw something that they were understaffed, and it was like that. Like the police were understaffed.
Why were they understaffed?
What I'm saying is that apparently someone said, I don't know who, maybe it was even Trump. It was like, hey, do we need backup Capitol Police for this? And it was like, no. And so basically I think it was like due to a skeleton crew being there. And if if I'm one of those police officers and I know there's 14 of us, you bet your ass I'm letting everybody walk past me. And I'm not dying for that.
Trump himself is like, we will not take it anymore. I'm getting this quote right. We will not take it anymore. And that's what this is all about. If you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. He said this to the crowd that left and overran the Capitol. Yeah. He was behind bulletproof glass, rallying grass. From behind bulletproof glass, he rallied the mob. Told them, do we have to fight or you're going to lose your country? And then they went and stopped Congress from doing their jobs.
All I'm going to say is that when I was living in West Hollywood during the Black Lives Matter protests, I'm not going to call it favorite thing but it was always entertaining to be walking alongside a large group of people when the Santa Monica Police Department SWAT riot truck would pull up into the intersection, like fucking literally a tank, got the guy in the gunner seat up top. And I'm just like, cool. The subdivision of the smaller city in LA has probably 4 of these. Like they just, wheel on out. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You don't have one of those in DC or 3 of them? Like nobody's breaching the perimeter with that ATC in there.
It's a bad optic, but I like those water gun things. Now we used them too much.
What do you
invite? I like the dogs myself.
Yeah, dogs.
No, it just seems like you can push a crowd around without hurting them with these water gun things.
That's exactly what you can do.
Oh my god!
Do people break arms? Talking about rights. We're gonna push them around a little.
There's a guy with a hose spraying it at MAGA people, and there's another guy who's like, "No, not over there. There's a black one. There's a black one."
all the hoses converge on the one black guy in the crowd.
all the black, because I can't blast water at a black guy, so the 9 MAGA black guys form a wall. It's impenetrable. We can't get the white guys.
I thought it'd be like on Ghostbusters, and they have to cross the streams by the end.
Focus on the one black guy.
I really was blown away. I thought that there would be secret people in there that had guns just in case there was something to happen inside the cap. Don't act like I'm stupid for thinking there's more people in there with guns.
I don't know. You said secret people.
No, I agree.
Like the A-Team?
You mean to tell me that
not a publicly advertised. It's not like they wouldn't say, and we've got 12 elite shock troops for whoever arrives first. But let's imagine they always have those guys there. The elite 12, they'd call them.
Is this
the Dirty Dozen?
They call them the A-Team. No, but
the Dirty Dozen are in there, and each of them has a skill. There's like a ninja. There's an inexplicable cowboy.
There's a guy who can read minds. There's a telepath. There's a guy with telekinesis.
You literally thought the Avengers were hiding out at the Capitol building waiting on this to go down.
And what they do is they send out the guy who can only use bows and arrows as fodder to die.
Poor Scarlett Johansson with the Glock.
This is
Hanson, who knows? No one knows.
Yeah, I just can't believe that when the Dodgers won the World Series, I had just moved to downtown and I ordered Postmates, not knowing that. I mean, I was watching the game, but I ordered it an hour prior to the game ending. And so the Dodgers win. My Postmates goes out for delivery. I'm like, oh no. Like, what do you poor soul? Because it's an actual riot. There's fireworks in the street. The police in riot gear are set up outside my apartment. So I leave because I know my guy can't bicycle through the crowd. I meet him like in the sea of people celebrating, get my food, and I run back. And so I'm running with my bag through like the riot. And then I hit the police wall, and I've never been so scared in my life because every one of those policemen, you know, point their guns, the rubber bullet guns at me, fucking just move back, go away, step back. And I'm like, I gotta get to my apartment. It's right there. They're like, you can't go to your apartment. Like, you just can't go. You're just not allowed. So I ate my burger in the street. And then,
in the riot?
Yeah. And then eventually they all got dispersed, but like they just
they're all right.
They just wouldn't let me pass the road that they were blockading. So I was like, they're better trained than the people defending the Capitol, apparently. Fucking bike cops over there with the help. I saw a bike cop with a helmet. Like, they won't pass me.
I'm writing you a ticket. I'm writing all of you a ticket.
I ended on that note. I love the wordplay.
That was the best shit I've ever heard.